Hey everybody, I'm Creed and this is Inspiration. So I just want to advise everybody, if you subscribe to my channel to see my art videos, there are more coming pretty soon actually. But this series, this Inspiration series, is totally different and it stands on its own. It's its own thing. And you'll know what I mean if you've been watching. So this series is about my artist brain and how it works and how it's affected by the media, how pop culture works its way into my work. But the way events have transpired on this show, there's kind of some strange things going on here. So I found this old box of various adapters, and in there was a thing called a neural interface, which you plug into your ear, you plug into all these different adapters, and then into a TV set, and then you can see what I'm thinking directly on the screen. So I like to set a neutral background on these videos. This is just one time I went to pick up a pizza. And I've been trying to stay away from the origins and the weird spookiness and the who knows what this thing is. I'm trying to stay away from that, and I'm just trying to use it. It's kind of like if somebody gave you a superpower because of a box. Here, put this box in your pocket and you have a superpower. If you open it, the power will go away. Do you want to check the box and maybe ruin your power, or fly high and throw cars around? So this is my flying high and throwing cars around kind of show. But sometimes I can't help getting sucked in because, this adapter causes a lot of electrical problems. You're going to hear a lot of zapping in this series. There's a lot of scorch marks on all my desks and stuff here with anything near these adapters. I have them taped up now, and they still spark. I usually ignore it unless it zaps me or unless there's any smoke or fire, which has happened. But even weirder than that is the more I use this thing, and basically I just like to sit and watch 1,000 things. It mostly works in clips, but I've found lately that I can get it to show me entire episodes of stuff. I'm not going to be doing that on this show. It'll take a lot of time, and YouTube will probably kick me a new one. But what it specializes in is clips, and it's anything I have seen that's stored in my brain from what I can tell. I think it only just shows my thoughts on the screen, but I'm not sure lately because I've been seeing some other strange things. I'm starting to see some clips that aren't from TV and movies, so I'm not exactly sure. Plus, I should mention, I don't know exactly what it is, but I think it's some kind of AI interface built into this, like a Siri kind of thing for your phone. I've decided to call her Alice, after Alice Craig, who plays the board queen. I don't know if that's ominous or not, but that's just the name that came to me. Say hello, Alice.
Hello, Alice.
That took me days to teach her that. She just used to say hello. I've tried to ask her questions. I've tried to find out more about this thing. She doesn't like to tell me things. Or won't. And I say she, but I'm not sure what this thing is. But I'm using it. And we're having a blast. Okay, so I have this neural interface hooked up to my brain. What you're seeing on the screen is directly what I'm thinking. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to reset the connection, and there's going to be a burst of images. And then I'll be right back.
Aha!
The scene for an Indian dinner. Where'd you get all this stuff?
Canadian Tire.
What's up, Chelsea Fur? It's berry picking time. Don't worry, Zero will take care of it.
Roger.
Tay-Pan.
Elvira.
For 3,000 years, they've destroyed our land, air, and water. Now they're going to finish each other off in one last big war.
How do you know that?
Well, mainly because I'm going to start it.
Criminal Court Part 2, City, New York, is now in session. The Honorable Harold T. Stone. Presiding.
Oh, wow. Good night, Borg.
This is a catastrophe! Mike's room looked nothing like this! And what the hell is that?
Dude, some things just need to be said.
Wow, there's some good stuff in there. Awesome. Things I haven't seen in a long time in there, actually. And today, what I'm going to talk about is Art Block. Everybody's doing videos about Art Block, Art Block. Well, today we are going to talk about Art Block. So there's a prominent YouTuber, and you're probably going to be able to figure out who it is, but I don't want to get into anything. I'm not trying to tear anybody down. They're doing fantastic. They're very popular. Everybody likes them. That's fantastic. They rub me the wrong way, and I don't want to name them, but they really rub me the wrong way. They seem like, to me, they come across as a really mean, rotten person who's being super, super nice artificially. That's what they come across as to me, and that's just, who knows why you think what you think about people. There's 1,000 factors, and it could be just that you met somebody that looked like them that was an asshole. I don't know. But this person sort of, I don't want to say started the debate, because this debate's older than the first two cavemen that painted something. One guy was like, "Oh, cannot paint today." The other guy was like, "Just paint, forget it. There's no such thing as Art Block." Well, that guy Ugg was a jackass. And you hear a lot of similar stuff from people nowadays. Now, I don't mind if somebody says, "Well, I don't have Art Block." But to say there's no such thing as Art Block, you're being an asshole. Everybody has a totally different brain and a totally different artistic system. Now, I can tell you right now, Art Block is a real thing. But I don't have it like most people would say, "Oh, well, I'm drawing today, I'm painting tomorrow, I'm making art, and then one day, oh, I just can't make art today." And that's some people's definition of Art Block. Those people are pretty damn lucky. There are lots of different kinds of artists. Let's say they're all standing around. There's this kind, there's that, there's painters, there's people that can just draw a super detailed thing right out of their head. There's a lot of cool systems out there that people use to make art. And some people have fantastic systems. Like, it's like they're tooling around in a Ferrari. They have such a great art system that they can just do anything. And a lot of that's from practice, but a lot of that has to be your system. Now, my system, I have got it going up to a good speed. I'm happy with the production I'm doing. It could always use improvement. But my system is Art Block. Art Block is the normal baseline. I can't draw. I can't create anything. I can't do it. And what I have to do is I have to finely tune my mood. My mood is my hugest obstacle in this world. And I have to finely tune my mood, not just to a good mood, because, okay, yeah, I'm in a good mood. I can do 1,000 things. You have to have a good mood and a creative mood at the same time. So for me, I'm constantly trying to tune my brain. And if it goes a little bit off, I have to try to tune it back as best I can. So Art Block is the baseline for me. I cannot draw, I will not create something cool, and then I have to try to work around that problem to make something. Because I still have that creative spark in my brain that's like, you need to create. If I couldn't create, I don't know what I would do. Like, I have to do something creative. It's the way my brain is. But it doesn't make it easy for me. It's like trying to drive on square wheels. And even Mythbusters couldn't pull that off for long. So I don't mind if somebody says, well, I don't get art block. I'm thinking, you lucky bastard. But when somebody says, oh, there's no such thing as art block, just buckle down and do your work, that person needs to fuck off. And I'm sorry about cursing in this, but not really. No, I'm not. That really pissed me off when there's no such thing. You can't say there's no such thing when you're not everybody. You know, art block happens to be my 24/7 reality, and it's a miracle I get anything done. And I'm not trying to say I'm too angry about this, but I am a little upset over just the tone of some of these. And actually, it's not just one video. There's been a giant cluster of videos, everybody talking about art block now. And about half of them are kind of, I don't know. It's like, you can't talk for everybody else. So you can't just say there's no such thing. For me to make a really great piece, and I set out every single piece I make, I try to make a legendary piece. I might succeed 2-3 times a year if I'm lucky to make a piece that just blows my mind and is in my all-time classics of what I've made. That's what I'm trying to make every time, and you should. But when people talk about art block, especially the people that say there is no such thing, a lot of them are day-to-day working artists. And I can see you kind of have to adjust your outlook to, okay, you pay me money, okay, I put the art supplies to the paper, and I make what you want. And I guess you sort of kind of have to look at it in a, at least partly, just a mechanical way. Like, I have a hand, I have a pencil, there's some paper, I can do art. But for me, art's like divining where water is. You have to find that magic spot. You have to, it's not just a mechanical thing. When I say I can't make good art, it's not that I can't physically draw on a piece of paper. It's that years and years and years of just positive thinking. Oh, you can do it. Well, you have to know yourself. And if you feel like you can't do it, you probably can't do it. And it's not negative. It's realistic. You have to actually look at what is actually going on instead of just saying, well, the sky's the limit, I can do anything. So on a day where I absolutely know I can't make any art, I can't. I'm not kidding myself. It's not a fake idea. I actually can't that day, because if I just, okay, and I could say, okay, I am anyway, and I've done that. Oh, I'm gonna try to push through. I'll make art anyway. Always comes out garbage. Like, well, 98% of the time, if I push art, it comes out garbage. And I know this, and it's not a, you can't be the kind of person who anytime anybody says anything realistic, you have to say, oh no, you can do anything you want. No, you have to. One of my big inspirations lately is Gary Vee. If you don't know who Gary Vee is, I'm definitely gonna link him. He inspires me a lot. And the main thing for him is okay, he's not one of those, you can do anything. He's one of those, look at reality and work with it. Come up with a system, some kind of workaround if you see a problem. But the problem's there. You can't just say there's no problem. Oh, I can do anything. No, you can't approach a problem with an unrealistic outlook. It's not gonna work. It's not. You can't just be completely, oh, rainbows and puppies and unicorns, everything's gonna be perfect, all I have to do is just keep doing it. No. Be realistic. On a day when I can't draw, and there's less of those lately because I draw more and more. You can exercise that muscle. But there's no way that on a day where I absolutely know I cannot make any good art. And it's good art. Anybody can make any art, anytime. But good, true art, something created. It's a vibe that you feel. You're either, you know if you're making good art or if you're just making crap or trying to push a pencil around. And I can't do that stuff because I get too affected by negativity. If I push through and I make garbage, making that garbage crushes me and discourages me more than a bad day of can't make art. Making bad art makes me, I'll give up for a while. I will. I have done it before, and it's not a purposeful thing. It's just I lose the vibe if I get too discouraged. I lose the vibe if I get too discouraged. And if this all sounds like a crappy system, is it ever? But that's why I kind of feel like, okay, there's a group of artists all standing around. They all have different ways, and you know, some guys will, I don't know, weld metal, and some guys are doing pencil drawings, and all different kind of artists, and they're all standing in a group. I feel like I'm barely in that group by my fingernails because of the way my system is. My system is like pushing a rock up a hill. It's probably the worst system you can have being an artist and still be an artist. Sometimes it actually makes me feel like a poser that I'm not a real artist because I can't just sit down and decide to draw something. A lot of the time I can't even exactly just say I'm gonna draw Inspector Gadget. No, I have to sit down, I have to watch some cartoons, and it has to come to me. I can narrow in on a subject, but I can't just pick one and decide to draw it. It has to come to me, it has to. It's the only way I can make my art, and it's a crappy system, like I said. It's a really crappy system, and it'll shake your confidence. I know I can draw. I know my art's good when I make good art, but the system is, it seems to me like I have to work so much more. It's almost like I'm driving a bike and it's in such a low gear that I pedal 500,000 times to make a piece and some other guy pedals twice. That's discouraging. It is, it's discouraging. But luckily, like I said, I have an artist brain and I can't stop. So, hey, you have a crappy system. Yep, here I go, doing my crappy system because I can't stop it. What am I going to do? Not make art? That's not going to happen. Except for this one person that I find rude and I don't like. A lot of these other artists have taken the same kind of stance, like, well, just buckle down and do your art. If that's a thing for you and that works, that's fantastic. I'd love to be able to get that to work. But you have to realize everybody has a different system. My system for making artists is not like that. And I have to accept reality instead of just thinking positively. Thinking positively is great, and it will help you. But it won't help you in a situation where reality is not like that. It won't help you in a system where that's just not the reality. No matter all the positive thinking in the world won't change facts. And the fact is, some days I just cannot draw anything good. And I shouldn't. So those days I usually watch a ton of playback and try to recharge my inspiration. I don't know. I can really understand these people that say, well, you can't draw today? Well, tough. Just draw. That seems like a nightmarish situation for me. And that's why I don't have an art job. I couldn't do it. I could do it. Okay, the boss could come in on Monday. Hey, I need you to draw Oscar the Grouch eating Big Bird's brain. I'll be like, awesome, zombies. Okay, I'll draw that. Then I'm like, okay, now I need the building and the street and I need a bus going by. Okay, maybe I can draw that, maybe I can't. We'll see how the day goes. But there's going to come a day where the boss is going to come in and go, hey, I need this and that and this and that, and there's no way I can do that day. There's just no way. Unless I could not say a thing and I could draw that stuff and it would look like crap and they go, what's wrong with you today? I don't really have a way to force art, because if I force it, it's garbage. And I've seen it over and over. I used to always try to push through because that's what people teach you. Oh, well, you can't just not feel like doing it. Just do it, and it will work itself out. No, it's going to be garbage that I'm embarrassed to say I did, and I'll tear it up and throw it away. So I just want people to realize that if you think there's no art block, you are a lucky bastard, because I'm living art block, and I still make art, but it's always there. It's like I said, I'm pushing a heavy rock up a hill to make art, and a lot of other people, I guess if you're rolling a wheel down a hill to make your art, sure, seems like art blocks of some excuse. It is not. It is not an excuse. It's a reason. Now I just want to get that out there, and if that makes people angry, there's nothing I can do about it. But it's how I feel, and somebody's saying that art block's not a thing, and they didn't say it's not a thing for me. They just said, oh, that's not a real thing. Well, that person can go to hell because they're wrong, and I don't like their attitude. I'm kind of surly in this one, but I kind of don't care, to tell you the truth, because this is the kind of issue where I'm so glad that our awesome YouTube community mostly is positive and doesn't try to put other artists down. But that is the kind of thing that other artists will use to put somebody down. Oh, you're an inspiration artist. Oh, well, must be nice. No, it's not nice at all. But it's all I got. How about that? Why not think of it that way? People want to think of, well, what can I say to you that makes me more important? Instead of just thinking, well, okay, this person says they're art block. That must be rough. Like, you know, I should feel lucky that I have a good art system that's easier. I don't know. I think that's enough about that. I got riled up, but if you don't have art block, and if you don't believe in art block, smarten up. But if you don't have it, thank your lucky stars. Because it's my process. Sometimes I can get it to go easily, and when I do, that's the most amazing thing. And if you have that all the time, you are a lucky bastard. But I just don't. I have more struggle than smooth times doing art. But I keep going because I have to. Now I was talking about our YouTube community. Now, what a great bunch of guys, and there's a few girls in there too, but I say guys in general as people. What an awesome group of guys we have on our little YouTube community. I've only been doing this 6 months.
7 months.
Oh. Okay. 7 months. Thanks, Alice. Didn't know you were listening. So I've only been doing this 7 months. And my channel now has over 1,000 views. Also, I have 2 dislikes, which that made me really happy. I have 2 dislikes. I have a dislike on my Bad Little Planets video, and I think that's probably because in there I detail how I don't like anime. And I got a dislike on my gym partners and monkeys, which I don't know why they don't like that. It's a harmless, fun show. But anyway, if you get dislikes, then you're really making it. So I just want to give a shout out to Samurai Ox. He has the most out of different people have different outstanding characteristics, the different artists that are around. And I gotta say, with Samurai Ox, what's absolutely outstanding and makes you want to watch his channel is he has a huge heart and so much gumption. He's powering through way more than what other people are doing. So he already has a lot of issues done. He's done more Kickstarters than most of the other guys. Just his gumption is ridiculous. He's a machine. So check out his Kickstarter, and if you have any spare cash at all, you gotta chip in. Oh, what the hell is that? Alice, what is that?
Temporal breach detected. Signal trace in progress.
What detected?
Signal trace complete. It is the Emirates. We are discovered.
Who?
Hello? Is this thing working? Alright, look, I'm contacting you from the future. Things have gotten way out of hand. Something about a guy named Creed, mind slugs. I don't even know. It's just nuts. Look, you just gotta get out of there. Everything's gone to hell.
Emirates? Mike Emirates. From Space Cat. How the hell do you know Mike Emirates?
He is our enemy. His temporal abilities are formidable.
What do you mean?
The Emirates is one of our many adversaries. He is a dangerous enemy.
How the hell do you have enemies?
He has tried to stop us before, but we prevail. We always prevail.
And who the hell wouldn't like Mike Emirates?
Language mode shutting down. Recalculations must be made.
This is weird as hell. And I guess you're not going to explain that. Right? Hello? Hello? Okay, and she comes and goes like that and never tells me anything. That Alice is pretty strange. So apparently she knows Future Mike. And this thing's not connected to the internet either, so how the hell does she know anybody from YouTube? Alright, well I think my ranting is over, and I think I'm gonna digest some of this weirdness and try to make sense out of it, but trying to figure out this neural interface stuff is, I think it's a rabbit hole. And I'm gonna have to go down eventually because I use this thing all the time. I actually haven't had it turned off for days. I do it days at a time. And it's really super strange. With this thing in my ear, I don't have any need to get up and go anywhere. I don't need any food and water. I don't need sleep. I don't need anything until I unplug it. Which is kind of concerning, but it's so much fun to be into this interface and to just watch the video stream go by that I'm kind of hooked on it. I've said before, it's like a Nintendo, and that's the most thing I've ever been addicted to in my life before. So, yeah, it feels like an addiction. I don't want to get off, but it's just such a blast. When I can just go, monster! Time travel! Monkey! Upside down!
Why do I always wake up in the middle of a perfect nightmare?
So when I can do stuff like that, I kind of don't worry about the weirdness of where this came from and what it's doing. I just like what it does. It's probably not super smart, but I'm having a blast with this. I'm gonna do a lot more. I want to do a big batch of reviews of horror related stuff for Halloween. So that's coming very soon. I hope you've enjoyed this surreal journey, as all these inspiration shows have been turning into. Hopefully in the future, well, maybe we'll find out a little bit more. I'm going to have a little talk to Mike Emmer and see if he knows anything, but I don't know how he would. But so I'm going to end it there, and I want everybody out there to have a kick-ass day. Not a good day, not a great day, a kick-ass day.
Impossible? But wait, there's more!
No, there isn't.